Hey Ren, check out this new game I got. It's called Stimpy's Invention for the Sega Genesis.
Nah, you've gone crazy, Stimpy. No one would make a game about you.
You're right, Ren. That's why it stars both of us.
Why didn't you say so sooner, Stimpy? Hey, Stimpy, what is this? Looks like someone fell for it!
Nonetheless, I do hope you enjoy a copy of Our Real Monsters. It is a more superior game, and I do not condone selling inferior products to my customers. I'll be expecting the second payment of toenails. They will
try inserting the cartridge backwards, Stimpy.
Oh joy! Stimpy's Mutate-O-Matic exploded while Stimpy was trying to turn ordinary household garbage into a delicious glazed ham. The pieces of the Mutate-O-Matic blew all over the place, causing the whole town to go crazy. Now it's up to Ren and Stimpy to collect all of the pieces in order to reassemble the machine to turn it off. The Ren and Stimpy Show was released in 1991. It would then spawn multiple video games, with one of them being Stimpy's Invention. This game was released on the Sega Genesis in 1993. Despite its name, this game had a few moments from multiple episodes of the show. As for the gameplay, it's pretty good. The game does a great job at capturing the look of the show it's based on. This is accompanied with solid controls and plenty of moves to perform. From a glance, I can't really say anything bad about this game. In any case, let's go over the controls. For this game, all you need is a 3-button controller. The controls are A, which is special, B is attack, and C is jump. You can run by holding A, and you can switch characters by pausing the game and pressing a button. Stimpy's Invention is a platformer that has a focus on teamwork. When near your partner, you will be able to perform team abilities by pressing a button plus a direction. This includes attacks such as shooting a hairball, or even mobility options such as riding Stimpy like a horse. You won't always have to use these abilities, but they will be required in certain areas. The game itself is pretty simple and it's not very long either. Therefore, I'll go more into detail during the long play. If you want a full guide that explains everything this game has to offer, you can check out the link in the description below. Without further ado, let's get started. Alright, and this is my long play on Stimpy's Invention for the Sega Genesis. Now of course I am commentating over this run, I already recorded it beforehand. And the first thing I do is I go to the options and I just set the difficulty and whatnot. So throughout this long play I'm going to talk about the controls, certain actions and moves you can perform, how to get through like certain sections of the stages. And yeah, with that said, let's get straight into it. And of course the game does start with some story, so I don't even know if I should even do the voices, but I will try my best.
Will you hurry so I can finish my paper?
Stimpy, what is that?
It's my latest invention, the Mutate-O-Matic.
What's it do?
It transforms ordinary household garbage into delicious food!
Man, you've really lost it this time, Stimpy.
I'll show you, Ren!
No way.
Oh no, Ren! It's a Mutate-O-Matic overload!
Stimpy, what do we do?
Well, let's see. The Mutate-O-Matic manual says... Oh wait, that was... Alright. Collect all of the scattered pieces, reassemble the Mutate-O-Matic, and turn the machine off. So most of this game is just you collecting all of the pieces. You don't actually reassemble the Mutate-O-Matic. Alright, the first stage, the neighborhood. So this game takes place pretty much all over town. There are 6 stages in total, with the last stage taking place at the Mutate-O-Matic. So yeah, the first stage is pretty easy. I'm pretty sure I take my time with it nonetheless. So maybe I guess I will use this time to go over the controls. Of course, you have special, attack, and jump. I'm pretty sure I already mentioned that in the intro. But as for the team attacks in particular, you have Stimpy's team attacks is different from Ren's. And the reason is because like when it comes to attacks, Stimpy's, they usually have a bigger hitbox, and they can actually go through multiple enemies, which is really good. And Ren's is faster, but like for example, when you use Ren, he will shoot like a projectile, like a hairball, but it won't go through enemies, it will only hit one. Whereas like Stimpy, he throws Ren and it can actually hit multiple times since it goes on the way back, and it can, you know, go through enemies. And of course, the action performed depends on the button you press, the direction you held. For example, when Stimpy throws Ren, that's just pressing attack near your partner, and if you want to like use a mallet to like knock Ren into a ball, then you press down plus attack. Alright, so this is the freezer. It's pretty much the last section of this stage. It's pretty easy, you just make your way up and down. But the last part can be a little tricky, and you'll see that in a bit. So for this part right here, you want to jump, because as you're sliding down, you can't really attack unless you like jump. Fortunately, I got hit there. And yeah, if you just slide down, there's a good chance that you just get hit by the eyeball. Also, that that sound the eyeball makes when it gets hit. Oh man. But yeah, what else? Alright, so coming up is the last part of this section. You see these walruses. What you want to do here is, with Ren or Stimpy, you want to press down and special to dig through these breakable platforms. It won't happen like instantly, so you need some time to break through them. I should have held down to see where the walrus was, but unfortunately I didn't, that's why I got hit there. So yeah, just be patient with this part and you should be good. And for some reason in this part, the walrus just despawned. It might have been the way I moved the camera, I have no idea. It happened in previous runs, but I'm still unsure of how to exactly do it. And oh, another thing I forgot to mention is that you have to hold down and special to perform the move while your partner is nearby. And to stop it, you have to let go of both buttons. Like, it will still keep going if you hold like down or a special during it, I think. Alright, but yeah, that was the first stage, and coming up is the zoo. Now, for me personally, when I first reached this stage, like playing it blind, I lost a lot of lives here, and I'll talk about it when we get there. So, these hippos, they'll keep opening their mouths. You have to hit them first in order to actually go on them without taking damage. If you just try to jump on them, they'll actually damage you. So you see me do that here. And the move I'm using is you just press special near Stimpy and you just ride him like a horse. It's really good, lets you go across the stage pretty much. Stimpy can also do the same thing if you select him. The animation looks a bit different, but it pretty much functions the same. I just prefer using Ren. So you just make sure to hit them before you go on the next one, then run under the bird, I should say. And yeah, that was the bowling pin move. Like, you just press down and attack while your partner is nearby. This is a good amount of
You stupid idiot.
there's a good amount of team maneuvers you can perform. Okay, these giraffes. Normally you have to run in between them, like run in between them and then like take your time. But you can do two things. You can, one, use the special jump in order to just get past both of them with up plus jump while near your partner. Again, it only works with Ren. Or you can take damage by throwing your partner into the giraffe. Like, you throw your partner into the giraffe with like Stimpy. You press up and attack, and then once your partner takes damage, you switch to them and then run past the giraffes with your invisibility frames. Because when your partner gets hit, you don't lose health, so like you just get free iframes and you just run past the giraffe. So that's like, those are the two safest ways to get through them. So I think Stimpy's like, yeah, I'm trying to make him like spawn back, so I had to move away for a bit. Alright, so this part, you want to try to like hit the monkeys before you go forward. While they're stunned, they can't damage you on contact, but unless you like hit them, they actually do damage they damage you if you touch them, I should say. So I did kind of mess up here. I didn't want to take damage there, but that's fine. So jump down here, hit this one, and then you want to go through that opening. and now you go on the top platform, and then just jump right into K-Drift for normal jump. I didn't really get to talk too much about this section since I was still explaining the giraffes. Which is fine because I really have to talk about this section. Oh boy, this is where I lost a plethora of my lives, to say the least. It's just... you can see right there, so... The biggest problems with this stage is, one, you're a big target. Two, it's just very easy to get hit since you like bounce around when you touch the walls and enemies. And three, and this is probably the most obnoxious part in my opinion, is that sometimes, like, especially, you know, when you're playing alone, your partner would just like zip across the screen and crash into you, and there's a good chance you go into a hazard. I think that almost happens in this run. Hopefully it might, hopefully it does. But so far so good. I'm just getting past. Yeah, right there. So look at that. If I didn't like press the buttons, I would have got hit by those thorns. But thankfully, I'm at the end. It's a short section, but it's very easy to lose all your health here. So you do need this part in order to exit the stage. So I'm just gonna sit there and not press anything. And you can just get out of there, but I prefer just switching to the other character. Do keep in mind though, the one that collected the part, which is Ren in this case, they're the only ones who can exit the stage, so either way I am going to have to use Ren to exit. But yeah, I know I made it look easy, but trust me, if it's your first time you might struggle with that part, especially on the harder difficulties, because I didn't get to mention, but the difficulty affects a few things. All difficulties changes how much health or like defense you have, so if you're playing on hard you lose a ton of health from getting hit. But if you're playing on easy, you start with more lives, more continues, and you take less damage from everything. Most importantly about easy is that when you collect ice cream cones, they refill your health. Whereas when you play on any other difficulty, only the powdered toast jar will refill your health, which makes a huge difference because there are a lot of ice creams in this game. Like, there's two right there. But I'm playing on hard, so that's why they don't refill my health. Now this stage, it's a lot of going up on these buildings and then jumping to the next building. It's honestly not that bad. Like, it can be confusing at first. When I first played this game, I got lost in this stage. But once you figure it out, it's actually not that bad. So here, you go on the rope. If you go down, you get a powdered toast jar to fill some health. I didn't need it, but I just wanted to show that it was there. So now you climb up this pipe. And for this section, I think I switched to Stimpy because for some reason the projectile when you use Ren and like do the team attack where you shoot the hairball, it sometimes misses against these enemies, and like I don't know why. It could be because of their hitbox, but yeah, sometimes they would just miss. So I use Stimpy because he has a better hitbox on his attacks overall. And I didn't mention it earlier, but if you attack without them being nearby, without your partner being nearby, you do get a different attack animation instead. So, you know, Ren will attack with his fly swatter, and Stimpy will attack with his trademark towel. Yeah, there it is. Alright, so yeah, still going to the right. There's not too much to explain about this stage. The next section is pretty dangerous. I think I'm getting pretty close to there. And from here, I think I just do a special jump to the right, and there should be a fireman to the left. Now you do have to defeat these enemies because if you don't, then the water won't spawn when you go on the fire hydrant. Again, very simple. This looks very similar to like the first part of this stage, like at the beginning. Heck, you can deal with the enemies the same exact way. So yeah, that's up plus attack. Ren draws Stimpy's nose, and I've done it earlier, but Stimpy's attack, he just draws Ren up as like a big hitbox. So there are benefits, as I stated earlier, to like switching between characters. At this part, so with this part, you wanna why did I do that choice? You wanna jump down to the left because there's an enemy below. And if you jump right on top of the enemy, you'll probably lose some health, so I just prefer doing it that way. And from here, just run to the right in order to get to the next part of the stage, which is very dangerous. I think it's just as dangerous as like the last part of the second stage. Alright, so now the controls will change. You gotta press special to pedal. Like, you gotta keep pressing it. I take my time though, so I don't go headfirst into the car. And you have to, jeez. And you have to jump on the cars in order to avoid taking, like, it's not easy, but it's better you get hit by the cars, because if you get hit by the truck behind you, you lose a ton of health. So like, as much as it sucks that I took a few hits here, it's better than like getting hit by the car behind. But after you get past a few cars, it would then change, and now you have to avoid these cracks on the ground. Unless you memorize this part, you're going to get hit, and it's just, it's very stressful. But thankfully there's a trick you can use. You can just keep pausing, as I showcase here, and it'll give you time to react to the cracks on the floor in case you either don't feel like remembering them, or like you just want an easier way to get through this. And yeah, that's it. That's really the most dangerous part of that level. And another thing about the bike is that you can double jump, but for some reason you can only double jump once. And like, it can even happen with like, because when you get hit by the cracks on the floor, it makes you bounce up, and if you press jump during that, it uses up your double jump. So yeah, you can only double jump once, and like once you do that, that's it. You only get single jumps. I don't know why it's like that. I guess it would be a bit easier if you could just keep double jumping.
The big sleep. The big sleep! The big sleep!
What's the big sleep, Ren?
Dead! Dead, you idiot! You know what dead is? Dead like we'll be, we don't get out of here!
Alright, the pound. This stage is honestly much easier than the previous two stages. There'll be some boulders, I should say, like blocks on the ceiling that will go down when you get near them. So all you gotta do is bait them and then walk back. And for these jumps, you want to use your special jump. Again, just press special near your partner to do it. I don't think I was paying attention there, but it's fine. I know there's a health pickup at the end of either this section or the next one. So yeah, another thing, you don't get your health back in between stages, which if you're not very good at this game, or you're like inexperienced, it could be a huge problem, because you end up losing lives very fast. Alright, so this part, just make sure you jump over each hill, because some of them have spikes. And then just make your way to the right. I think there's one enemy. Yeah, there it is. And keep going. Not much to explain here yet. And you come across this pipe. Now I'm going to press up plus jump to do the team jump. Immediately jump on this platform, since that goo that was dripping can actually damage you. So you gotta make sure you jump off the pipe in time. And now you have to make your way up. Now the part that you gotta be careful of is I get to mention the camera, that's right. So by holding up or down, you can move the camera, and this is important for this part in particular, because it will allow you to see the ball of chains coming up, and you have to duck under them in order to like avoid getting hit. Of course, it is possible to just like speed through and just jump straight to the next platform, but if you want to play it safe, just wait until they're going in the direction you're facing. Press up plus jump to get on the platform, and you should be good. You could use Stimpy for this part. His up plus jump is the helicopter thing. I think I did it once earlier, but I'm not a big fan of it because of the way it controls when you're moving left and right. Ren's up plus jump feels like it has a bit more control to it, so that's why I stick with him. Alright, so this part's the same thing as the last section before. You just gotta press down plus special to break this. Since there's a 1-ton weight, you should take your time, just do it a few times, and yeah, there you go, just fall in. And now for what I think is, well, what's actually the only boss fight in this game. So two wrestlers, they are actually from one of the episodes, and I forgot what the name of the episode was. All you have to do here is just stall until the clock runs out. You see the clock, you know, it started from the top, like in the middle in 12, and then it just has to make a full 360 before the match ends. Once the timer runs out, you'll automatically win. The strat I'm doing here is simple. Just press up plus jump with Ren, and as long as you like time it right when they jump, you just bounce like into them, but you won't take damage. I don't know how this works with Stimpy, and you could also just run past them. But the problem with that, is when you run past them, like if you run all the way to the left right when they jump, or like to the right, there's like some glitch where they just instantly teleport to you with an attack, and like I don't know why it happens, but it's the reason why I don't like running under them. I just say, okay, maybe just press up plus jump, it's much safer. And yeah, you do get a 1-up for getting 50,000 points, which is really helpful.
Boy, Captain, I'm pooped. Okay, we'll rest here. I'm pooped too. I gotta sit down.
And now for the outdoors. This is I think this takes place in like at least parts of this level takes place in Ren's mouth, I think, or Stimpy's. I'm not really sure, but it is a wacky stage. So there are a lot of mosquitoes here. I think Stimpy is great for this since, like I said earlier, his attacks have a big hitbox. So just stick with him if you're playing alone, and if you're playing with a friend, just let him do all the work. And next up is this part. Some of these eyes will tear up. Of course, these can damage you. But most importantly, you see an eye on the floor. It will spawn if you get too close. You could either trigger the spawn or just jump over it to stop the spawn completely. So you see me do it here. There we go. So not a bad section in general, like the exit's right there. And now for this section. It can be a bit confusing at first if it's your first time, but it's not too bad. So for this part, you want to climb up. There will be some mosquitoes that you can't attack since like when you're climbing, you can't use any of your moves. So the only thing you can do is like move up and jump. Well, move up and down and jump, I should say. So yeah, just watch the patterns and jump accordingly. And there are going to be some hazards on the bottom, so take your time when going down here. That's why you see me using the camera by holding down. And now we gotta do some platforming. So press special to get on this platform and then make your way up. But again, use the camera so that you can see what's coming up. For example, that enemy right there. There we go. Alright. Now you wanna like pretty much keep going up and to the right. Because if you do, you actually find a powdered toast jar. You could go to the right, like down and to the right, but like if you want some extra health, then just keep going right and keep going up. Alright, so pretty simple, just wait. Attack him. And I should be at the toast jar soon. I think it's around here. There it is. So get some health back. Might need that for the last level. In this section, so you're pretty much forced to go on this thing. And what you have to do is keep pressing the buttons like A, B, or C in order to like fly up. And if you go to the very end, you barely saw it there, but the last item at the end is actually the part you need for the Mutate-O-Matic. And once you collect it, the stage ends automatically. And yeah, now it's time for the final stage. So no story, it just immediately starts. And the first thing you want to do immediately is press up plus jump. What you're supposed to do here is like keep jumping in between the bubbles, because if you stay on them long enough, they actually pop. But if you keep using this, they won't. Alright, and now this part is a little tricky. So you gotta wait for this electricity to spawn, and what you have to do is go on these red platforms. And you see one to the right and to the left. You want to keep jumping in between these. But you can't take too long because electricity, like you see the one below and you also see the one above. So if you're too fast, you get hit by the one below. It has a bigger hitbox than you think. And if you take too long, you end up jumping to the one right above you. So you just gotta be patient, but you also have to be like, you can't take too long, you gotta be fast. Thankfully that last one disappeared. Now you gotta wait for these candles to, like for the fire to go out. And now you gotta deal with this part. I'm not a big fan of it. So what's going on here is that the light bulbs will start lighting up and then they'll be fully lit. When they're lighting up, they don't damage you, but when they're fully lit, they will damage you on contact. And you can see here, the problem is that like, sometimes the partner, like the AI, don't keep up with you, and it can lead to situations like that where I almost got hit trying to wait for him. Thankfully, that went really well. This part, very simple. You just want to deactivate these, like you want to blow out the candles and immediately run before they light back up. And this next part, I actually got kind of lucky here, but it doesn't really matter. The AI went straight on the off switch. What you have to do here is turn all of these switches off by staying on them. And the electricity has a set pattern, so it's not too bad once you figure it out. But the thing is that these switches will go back up if you take too long. You can see the switch on the right just went all the way up. But that's fine, I get through this no problem. And yeah, that is my no miss run of Ren and Stimpy. And now it's time for the ending.
This is a song about being happy. That's right. It's the Happy, Happy, Joy, Joy song.
And yeah, that was Ren and Stimpy, Stimpy's Invention for the Sega Genesis. I like this game a lot. I think it's really good. Really, the only thing that's unfortunate is that the game is just very short, which, man, like, if this game was just a bit longer, it would have been way better. Which is kind of ironic because, like, while I do like Hour of Monsters on the Sega Genesis, I think that game is too long, and like there's way too many stages where you go back to the sewers and whatnot, the junkyard, I should say. Other than that, I do think this game is much more well polished. It's a great game. It's not amazing. It could use some improvements, but like, if it can, then I'm not sure what it is because like, it's just a really good platformer. In any case, I hope you enjoyed the video, and with that said, I'll see you later.